Here we have honors algebra 2 math problem. Okay, let's go with the question. The sum of two numbers is 40. Let one of the numbers be x and let y be the product of the two numbers as a function of x. Determine the two numbers that create the maximum product and state the value of the largest product. Okay, here the sum of two numbers is 40 and x is one of the numbers. Okay, if x is one of the numbers and the other number has to be 40 negative x. So how can you decide that the other number can be 40 negative x? Okay, just let's make a small assumption. Let me assume one of the numbers is 10. Then what can be the other number? Easily we can say 30 is the other number because the sum of two numbers must be 40. So how do we get this 30? So we just simply subtract this 10 from this 40. Okay, so 40 negative 10 becomes 30. Since it is 10, easily we can subtract 10 from 40. But one of the numbers actually is not 10. It's just my assumption, just for an example. So the question clearly says one of the numbers is x. To get the other number, so we have to remove that one of the numbers from the sum. Then the result is going to be the other number. Okay, now I got the two numbers. So one number is x and the other number is 40 negative x. So once I get the value of x, I can get the other number. But so we have to get the value of x with the condition, that is the product of these two numbers x and 14 negative x has to be maximum. So that we have to get these two numbers. And also the question says y is the product of two numbers as a function of x. So y is the product, that is y equals to the product of two numbers means x times 40 negative x. So this is one number, this is the other number. So y equals the product of the two numbers. Okay, so and also the product means the value of y has to be maximum. Okay, so let's multiply, let's distribute this x to 40 and negative x, and I'll be getting 40x negative x square. Then I'm getting y equals to negative x square positive 40x. So because I'm writing the quadratic function in general form, so the general form of a quadratic function is y equals to ax square positive bx positive c. Okay, comparing this and this, what value do I get for a? A equals to, a is the coefficient of x square. In our problem, in front of x square there is no number, so we have to assume there is 1. Then the value of a is negative 1. And the b is the coefficient of x, so in front of b we have 40 in our problem, so the value of b is 40. And the value of c is 0. Okay, so usually the graph of any quadratic function will be a parabola. I mean, the graph of a quadratic function in the form y equals to ax square plus bx plus to c will be a parabola. The parabola may open up or open down. So whenever a quadratic function is defined by y in terms of x, so its graph will be a open upward parabola, open downward parabola. So it depends on the value of a. I mean, like if a is negative, then the parabola opens down. If the value of a is positive, the parabola opens up. But in our case, a is negative 1, that is negative value. So if I sketch the graph of this quadratic function, we'll be getting a open downward parabola. It is like this. Okay, so open downward parabola. So whenever we get to open downward parabola, so we'll have the maximum value at the vertex. That is, let's consider the vertex x comma y. So here y represents a maximum value. If the parabola opens up, then we'll be getting a minimum value at the vertex. So always the minimum value or maximum value, always the minimum value and maximum value will be given by the y coordinate at the vertex. The parabola opens up, the minimum value, we can get the minimum value by looking at the coordinate of the, y coordinate at the vertex. So if the parabola opens down, we'll be able to get only the maximum value. So the maximum value is the y coordinate at the vertex. Okay, anyways, to get the y coordinate of the vertex, first we have to be knowing the x coordinate of the vertex. Okay, how can I get the x coordinate of the vertex? So there is a formula to get the x coordinate of the vertex, that is negative b over 2a. This is a formula we have to get the x coordinate of the vertex. Okay, so this negative comes in the formula itself. So what's the value of b in our problem? That's 40. So negative 40 over 2 times, what's the value of a in our problem? It's negative 1. So we can plug in negative 1 for a. So I get x equals to negative 40 over 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. This negative will cancel out. Then I get x equals to 20. I got the x coordinate of the vertex, which is 20. So what's the y coordinate? So to get the y coordinate, it's very simple. I just have to plug in x is equal to 20 into the given quadratic function. So now let me plug in x is equal to 20 over here. So y equals to negative 20 square positive 40 times 20. Okay, so y equals to, so please understand this square is applicable only for 20, not for this negative sign. So this negative will remain same. So 20 square is 400 positive, 4 times 2 is 8, and we have two zeros, 1 0 1 0, 800. The product of 40 and 20 is 800. So when I combine negative 400 and positive 800, the result is 400. The y coordinate of the vertex is 400. So this is a maximum value. Actually, y in our problem, y represents a product of two numbers. So the maximum of the product is, the maximum of product is equal to 400. Okay, I get the maximum product when x is equal to 20. Actually, x represents one of the numbers. Then what is the other number? 40 negative 20 will be 20. So the two numbers, when the sum of two numbers is 40, and the two numbers that create the maximum product are 20 and 20, and the largest, the value of the largest product is 400.